Welcome back to B&B Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the dramatic developments unfolding in the world of Bold and Beautiful, where family connections are being forged while business empires crumble. The corporate landscape at Forrester Creations is experiencing a seismic shift that has left Hope Logan completely bewildered. Upon arriving at what she believed was still partially her domain, Hope immediately sensed something amiss in the atmosphere. The patriarchs of the Forrester dynasty, Eric and Ridge, were confidently striding through the hallways with an air of reclaimed authority that sent alarm bells ringing in Hope's mind. Desperate for clarity amid this unsettling change, Hope sought out Carter Walton, her business ally in the LLC venture that had temporarily given them significant control over the fashion house. With growing anxiety evident in her voice, she implored Carter to confirm that their legal position remained secure, desperately seeking reassurance that the LLC papers were intact and their leadership position preserved. However, the uncomfortable expression on Carter's face suggested that Hope's worst fears were about to be confirmed. The partnership between Carter and Hope, which had always seemed somewhat mismatched given their different approaches to business and personal ethics, appears to be reaching its inevitable conclusion. This unexpected corporate reversal will likely force Hope to recalibrate her professional ambitions and personal relationships in ways she never anticipated. Meanwhile, across town at Il Giordino restaurant, a far more disturbing reunion was taking place, one that could potentially create a new criminal dynasty in Los Angeles. Luna Nozawa, recently freed from legal consequences despite having committed double homicide in this very establishment, arrived with a specific mission that had nothing to do with remorse for her past actions. Instead of showing any hint of regret for the lives she had taken within these walls, Luna was vibrating with excitement at the prospect of meeting someone she had long admired from afar, her notorious grandmother, Sheila Carter. The restaurant that should have triggered memories of her darkest deeds instead became the backdrop for what Luna clearly viewed as a joyous family reunion. When Luna approached Sheila and revealed their biological connection as John Finnegan's daughter, the revelation left even the unflappable Sheila momentarily speechless. Though initially confused by the logistics of this unexpected family addition, Sheila's surprise quickly transformed into elation at discovering a kindred spirit who actually embraced their connection rather than rejecting it. In a characteristic display of inappropriate boundary crossing that has become Sheila's trademark over decades of villainous behavior, she immediately grabbed her newly discovered granddaughter and planted a kiss directly on her lips. This peculiar greeting clearly caught Luna off guard, though her discomfort seemed minimal compared to her excitement at being welcomed by the infamous Sheila. The wheels in Sheila's mind began turning immediately, contemplating the possibilities of expanding their dysfunctional family circle by bringing Lucy from Genoa City to Los Angeles. The prospect of 3 generations of Carter women united in Los Angeles sent a visible thrill through Sheila, who has always longed for family acceptance despite her repeated betrayals and violent tendencies. This unexpected grandmother-granddaughter alliance presents a troubling new dynamic for the residents of Los Angeles. With Luna already demonstrating her capacity for violence and Sheila's notorious history of manipulation and murder, their combined presence suggests a potentially catastrophic force that could threaten multiple families across the canvas of the show. The contrast between Hope's crumbling professional world and the disturbing family reunion between Luna and Sheila highlights the show's ongoing exploration of power dynamics, whether in boardrooms or in the psychological manipulation that has become Sheila's specialty. As Hope faces the dissolution of her business partnership with Carter, she remains unaware of the far more dangerous partnership forming across town. The coming weeks will likely reveal whether Hope can recover from this professional setback and whether anyone can intervene before Luna fully embraces her grandmother's murderous legacy. With Sheila's influence now potentially extending to a new generation through Luna, the stakes have never been higher for the extended Forrester Logan Finnegan families who have repeatedly found themselves in Sheila's crosshairs. As these storylines continue to unfold, viewers will undoubtedly be watching closely to see if Luna's apparent admiration for Sheila's notorious past will translate into becoming her willing apprentice in future schemes, or if someone might still reach Luna before she follows completely in her grandmother's blood-stained footsteps. Next, we will learn about the issue brewing between several key characters that could reshape the landscape of the show dramatically. The complex web of relationships and recent revelations promises to create explosive drama in the coming episodes. Family dynamics and potential alliances. Forrester's grandmother Sheila has been working diligently to rebuild her life despite her troubled past. After years of villainous behavior that terrorized the Forrester family, Sheila has found an unexpected path to redemption through her relationship with Deacon Sharp. Their marriage represents a significant turning point in Sheila's character development, though her devious tendencies remain just beneath the surface. Deacon maintains constant vigilance over his wife, understanding that her sketchy impulses typically emerge when she feels her family is threatened. This protective instinct, while admirable in some contexts, has historically led to disastrous consequences for those who cross her path. Sheila's transformation from outright villain to complex anti-hero demonstrates the show's nuanced approach to character evolution. The redemption arc Sheila has experienced mirrors what could potentially await Luna. Both women have committed terrible acts, served prison time, and faced widespread fear and hatred from those around them. Despite these obstacles, Sheila has managed to construct a new life for herself, complete with love and marriage, making her uniquely positioned to guide Luna through similar challenges. The pardon and its aftermath. The shocking announcement from Chief Baker regarding Luna Nozawa's complete pardon left almost everyone in the room stunned, with the notable exception of Bill Spencer. His knowing smirk revealed his involvement in securing Luna's freedom, a fact he later confirmed directly to Luna herself. This intervention demonstrates Bill's considerable influence and raises questions about his motivations. Despite orchestrating Luna's release, Bill's generosity appears to have clear limitations. His abrupt demand that Luna vacate his property before his return from meetings left her in a precarious position, legally free but practically homeless. Without financial resources, employment, or housing, Luna's newfound freedom comes with significant challenges that could push her toward unexpected alliances. Bill's contradictory behavior, securing Luna's freedom only to abandon her immediately afterward, suggests complex motivations that may be revealed in future episodes. His involvement in this situation could have far-reaching consequences for multiple characters, particularly as Luna seeks stability in her new circumstances. Steffi's reaction and family tensions. Steffi Forrester's visceral reaction to Luna's release highlights the deep-seated animosity between these characters. Her desperate attempt to convince Finn to somehow return Luna to prison demonstrates both her fear and her inability to accept the legal reality of the situation. This unreasonable demand places Finn in an impossible position between his wife and his newly discovered daughter. The family dynamics are further complicated by Lee Finnegan's violent confrontation with Poppy Nozawa. The physical altercation, Lee choking Poppy, suggests that Luna cannot expect support from this branch of her family tree either. With both her maternal grandmother and stepmother actively hostile toward her, Luna's options for family support appear severely limited. These tensions create a perfect storm that could drive Luna toward the one family member who might welcome her, Sheila Carter. The shared experience of rejection and ostracism could form the foundation for a powerful alliance between grandmother and granddaughter, particularly as Luna discovers that Sheila is the only one willing to embrace her without judgment. The looming revelation. The imminent discovery that Luna is Sheila's granddaughter promises to dramatically alter the show's dynamics. Currently, Sheila believes Luna deserves her imprisonment for the deaths of Deacon's friends, but this perspective will likely undergo a complete reversal when she learns of their biological connection. Family has always been Sheila's primary motivation, and discovering a new branch of her family tree will undoubtedly trigger strong protective instincts. The revelation will also force Sheila to confront the fact that Poppy had a relationship with Finn, adding another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. This knowledge could reawaken Sheila's jealousy and possessiveness regarding her son, potentially threatening the progress she's made toward stability. News travels with remarkable speed in this community, making it inevitable that Sheila will soon learn about Finn's daughter. When this information reaches her, the resulting shift in alliances could create new threats for several characters, particularly Steffi, who has consistently opposed both Luna and Sheila's presence in Finn's life. Potential consequences for Steffi. Steffi's uncompromising stance against both Luna and Sheila places her in a potentially dangerous position. By attempting to banish both women from Finn's life, she has created common ground between them, shared resentment toward her. If Luna and Sheila form an alliance based on their mutual rejection by Steffi, they could become a formidable force against her. Sheila's history with Steffi is particularly troubling, featuring years of terrorism against the Forrester family. Although Sheila claims to have moved beyond her villainous past, her desire to be part of Finn and Hayes' lives remains strong. Steffi's absolute refusal to allow this connection creates ongoing tension that could easily erupt into conflict. If Luna and Sheila discover their connection and bond over their shared experiences, Steffi may find herself targeted by both women. Their combined resentment, coupled with Sheila's history of extreme measures when family is involved, could place Steffi in genuine danger as the storyline progresses. Luna's limited options. Luna's current situation, free but without resources or support, leaves her vulnerable and desperate. With Steffi actively working against her, Finn caught in the middle, and Lee hostile toward her entire maternal line, Luna has few places to turn. This isolation could make Sheila's potential acceptance particularly appealing, regardless of her grandmother's notorious reputation. The parallels between Luna and Sheila's experiences create natural common ground. Both have committed serious crimes, faced imprisonment, and encountered widespread rejection. Sheila's successful navigation of similar circumstances positions her as a potential mentor for Luna, offering guidance on rebuilding a life after disgrace. This potential relationship represents both opportunity and danger for Luna. While Sheila could provide much-needed support and family connection, aligning with someone of her reputation could further damage Luna's chances of broader acceptance. Additionally, Sheila's methods of protecting family often cross ethical and legal boundaries, potentially drawing Luna back into problematic behavior. As Luna contemplates her next steps, the discovery of her connection to Sheila could profoundly influence her choices and future trajectory on the show. Their potential alliance represents a significant threat to the current power dynamics, particularly for Steffi, who has positioned herself as an enemy to both women. The stage is set for dramatic confrontations and shifting alliances as these complex relationships continue to evolve. The revelation of Luna's connection to Sheila promises to be a catalyst for major developments that will resonate throughout the show's narrative landscape. Next, we will learn about the issue of character inconsistency and narrative contradictions that have recently surfaced in The Bold and the Beautiful, particularly regarding Sheila's hypocritical stance on Luna's actions. The writer's room dilemma. The creative process behind The Bold and the Beautiful sometimes appears to prioritize plot convenience over character consistency. One can almost visualize the writing team's discussions. We need this character to behave this way to advance our storyline, regardless of established history or logical character development. When a newer writer might question, wouldn't this contradict the character's established personality? They're likely met with dismissive responses suggesting viewers will simply forget these inconsistencies, just as they supposedly forgot Luna's previously mentioned happy childhood with Poppy. This approach to storytelling creates a disconnect between the narrative and the audience's understanding of the characters they've followed for years. The writers seem to operate under the assumption that viewers have short memories or will willingly suspend their disbelief beyond reasonable limits, which underestimates the dedicated fanbase's attention to detail and investment in character arcs. Sheila's astonishing hypocrisy. The March 13 episode presented viewers with a truly remarkable display of cognitive dissonance when Sheila Carter expressed outrage at Luna's actions. Her statement, "I never would have wished that upon her," regarding Luna drugging Steffi and leaving her to die in a scheduled demolition, stands as perhaps one of the most hypocritical declarations in soap opera history. This moment of sanctimony becomes almost comically absurd when we consider Sheila's extensive criminal history. How could anyone maintain composure while Sheila positions herself as morally superior? Her shocked reaction to Luna's behavior demonstrates either an extraordinary level of self-deception or a calculated attempt to rewrite her own narrative in the eyes of those around her. The character's apparent amnesia regarding her own violent past creates a jarring disconnect that even the most forgiving viewers struggle to reconcile. Sheila's moral indignation would be more believable coming from literally any other character in the B&B universe. A catalogue of crimes conveniently forgotten. Sheila's history of violence extends far beyond a single attempted murder. Her criminal resume includes shooting Finn, her own son, when he intercepted a bullet meant for Steffi, then immediately firing again at Steffi, leaving both for dead behind Il Giardino. She subsequently plotted to eliminate Steffi in the hospital before she could regain consciousness and identify her attacker. Beyond these recent transgressions, Sheila's historical rap sheet reads like a comprehensive guide to soap opera villainy, murdering her accomplice Lance Day, shooting Taylor, Brooke, and Stephanie, imprisoning James, kidnapping Ridge and his half-brother Nick, sabotaging Brooke's sobriety, and tormenting Lauren from the young and the restless for decades. Given this extensive background of malevolence, Sheila's statement that maybe some people really do deserve to be locked away in prison for the rest of their lives becomes an exercise in extraordinary irony. Her follow-up that if anybody does, it's Luna demonstrates a remarkable lack of self-awareness that stretches credibility beyond what even soap opera conventions typically allow. Deacon's puzzling reaction. Perhaps equally perplexing is Deacon's response, or lack thereof, to his wife's moral grandstanding. How did he maintain a straight face while Sheila positioned herself as an arbiter of justice? Any reasonable person with knowledge of Sheila's history would have questioned this sudden ethical stance. Deacon's failure to challenge Sheila's hypocrisy represents another missed opportunity for authentic character interaction. A more believable scenario would have shown Deacon reacting with skepticism, perhaps even pointing out the irony of her position, which could have led to a more nuanced conversation about redemption, judgment, and personal growth. Viewer expectations and narrative concessions. Loyal viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful have demonstrated remarkable tolerance for certain soap opera conventions. We've become accustomed to characters over-identifying themselves in conversation, repetitive exposition, and even dramatic revelations that strain credibility. These narrative shortcuts are accepted as part of the genre's stylistic approach. However, even with this generous acceptance of soap opera conventions, there are limits to what viewers can reasonably be expected to overlook. Character consistency represents a fundamental aspect of storytelling that, when violated too egregiously, breaks the audience's investment in the narrative world. A missed opportunity for character development. What makes this situation particularly frustrating is how easily it could have been avoided. The writers had a perfect opportunity to develop Sheila's character in a more nuanced direction. Rather than positioning her as Luna's moral superior, Sheila could have acknowledged her own violent history while expressing curiosity about what drove Luna to such extreme actions. This approach would have created a moment of self-awareness that acknowledged Sheila's past while potentially suggesting growth or at least self-reflection. It might have drawn parallels between Sheila's own history of violence and Luna's actions, perhaps even allowing Sheila to recognize patterns or motivations similar to her own past behavior. Instead, the writers opted for a simplistic approach that ignored character history in favor of momentary plot convenience, undermining both narrative coherence and viewer investment in the story being told. The broader pattern of narrative convenience. This incident with Sheila represents a broader pattern in the bold and the beautiful storytelling approach, where character consistency is sometimes sacrificed for plot expediency. When writers prioritize where they want the story to go over how characters would logically behave based on their established histories and personalities, the result is a narrative that feels contrived rather than organic. The show has set Luna free for nebulous reasons while positioning Sheila, perhaps the least qualified character possible, as a moral authority. This creates a narrative dissonance that even the most dedicated viewers struggle to reconcile with their understanding of these characters and their histories. In conclusion, while soap operas certainly operate with different storytelling conventions than other dramatic forms, character consistency remains essential to maintaining viewer investment. When the bold and the beautiful sacrifices this consistency for plot convenience, it undermines the very emotional connections that keep audiences returning day after day.